For lesson 4, we're going to be building a drawer for the shaker table. So we want to open up the layers, and from the ribbon above select the icon, or simply type in layer in the command line and press enter. And we have already created the drawer layer here, so we can just go ahead and turn it off, and that way when we add the knob and the drawer front, it'll turn itself off for us. So an easy way to do this is to zoom in, and we're going to look at the knob and the drawer front, and then we don't really need this here, so we can close it out and right click on the knob and hit properties, and you'll see in the general section there's a layer pull down, and in the menu click onto drawer and it'll disappear. And then we're going to do the same thing to the drawer front, and we'll go ahead and select the drawer front and put it on the drawer, and it should go invisible as you put your mouse over it. And so there we have the drawer front and the knob on the drawer layer. And so in order to build this drawer, we want to pull up the layers, and then we're actually going to turn the top off, and that'll help us see inside. So turn that layer off, and the drawer is on. And that is the current layer that we're working on. And if you start building and you can't see it, that means that it's going to a layer that's turned off. So make sure that the drawer layer is the active layer. And we're going to build this in 3D. So either from the home screen or the solid, select the box from the primitive menu. And let's go ahead and click on to the inside of the drawer, and you really have to work with what it gives you here. So as I'm moving, sometimes when you work in 3D, which is a little tricky sometimes, it has a mind of its own sometimes on what axis it's going on. So right now it's going in the Y axis. So I'm going to type in the length, and then I'm going to move my mouse so that it's going down the length that I want it to go down, and I'm going to type in 15.5, and that's inches. So that's the length. Now once know the width of this box. So look at the command line below. It's very important that when you're working that you're reading what it's telling you. So we want to know the width of this is what it's asking for. So we typed in 3, and now it wants to know the height, which is 0.5. Computers aren't necessarily that smart. So we have created the drawer runner here that's 15.5 inches by half an inch by 3 inches. And rather than do all that again, let's inspect it and we'll just mirror it. Now we could do it again. Now we want to get into the top view, so get onto the top view, and we're going to mirror the side of the drawer. So either from the ribbon above, click on the mirror icon, or simply type in mirror in the command line below and press enter, and then select the side of the drawer and press enter, and then we're going to use the drawer front for the midpoint. Find the midpoint and then go perpendicular to it, and it defaults to N for no, so we don't want to delete the first one. And then you can see from the settings here, if you're having any difficulty, make sure that your object snap has midpoint, and then let's go ahead and we're going to go to, we actually want to work on the back of this drawer. So get yourself, this is the south east, or actually northeast view here, and go ahead and zoom in so you can just see the back of the drawer sides, and we're going to in 3D we're going to build a box, and again you really have to work with what it gives you here. So we clicked on the first corner, and then you can either type in length or click it. A new feature here on the command line. Type in length, move the mouse in the direction that you want it to go to, and you can either click it or type in the length. So move the mouse in the direction and type in 17.5, and then in this case it's giving us what is going to be our ½ inch or quarter inch. So our ½ inch, and then the height will be here 3 inches, and you can just snap it to the corner or type in 3 and press enter. So we have built the drawer. However, obviously here we need the bottom. So I'm going to go into the bottom view. Sometimes this snaps the first time and sometimes it doesn't, and let's go ahead and work in the 2D wireframe if possible, and click on the box, select the corners, and for the height of this, materials for drawers are typically a quarter inch thick, so type in 0.25 and press enter. And we're going to need to visually inspect this. Now I can see right away that it defaulted to, it appears to be the center, the midpoint, so we're just going to move that down. So we can see that's not where it should be. And let's go ahead, and I could use the 3D orbit and inspect it. It's probably going to be easiest to do this from underneath. So you have a lot of options here on how you can view this. But actually we could do it in this view if we want, because we're in the 2D wireframe. And we'll go ahead and find the move icon, or just type in move in the command line. Press enter. Now we want to select the object, which is the bottom of the drawer, and it tells us it is one object is found, and just find the corner and just simply move it down to the corner where the intersection of the back and the side of the drawer is, and then inspect it, and you should have a drawer. And again, this is on its own layer. And you can turn the other layers on as needed, and you've successfully built a shaker table with legs and the drawer, which is a separate item. Now we do this because if we want to take the drawer into an animation software like 3ds Max, they typically work best if it's on its own layer. And you can visually look at this in a 3D perspective view, give some depth, and inspect your shaker table, and you have completed lesson 4 on constructing a shaker table in AutoCAD.